Hey YouTube, how's it going tonight? So, for the final time this year, I'm about to do my last football analyst for my Iowa Hawkeyes this year. They're my alma mater. I love the school greatly, and I still love that football team dearly. This has been a great project all year round, and one more time before September, I'm going to give it a go. Now, before we start, as always, please remember all views that I express in this video are completely my own. They do not represent those of the University of Iowa, the Big Ten Conference, any media outlets, or any university officials, any players, coaches, or anything, or other conferences, or anything, or anybody else who is otherwise affiliated. Let's get going. All right. Christmas tree in the background this time. So, here we go. It's the Music City Bowl. Iowa versus Kentucky. Both teams travel to such a great city, and they're going to play hopefully what is going to be a great football game, and hopefully more so a win for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, look, my basic role key. I mean, I usually make points about the game, but not this time. I'm going to say, those who have watched all these videos year-round, thank you. And I mean, thank you so much for all of your great support this year. This was really a challenging project for me, but it was just so worthwhile. I didn't know what I was doing sometimes because I'm not really experienced with this, but if you supported me throughout this project, I really appreciate that. Can't wait to start next year on the week of September 2nd of 2023 when it's Iowa versus Utah State. So, this is going to be a great final episode, season finale. Now, as always, I start out with the offense. Now, my first offensive role key of the week is just simple. Iowa starting a rather unknown quarterback, Joey Labas. Well, here's what I'm going to say. Make sure Joey makes it his own show because Iowa just got Cade McNamara, which, of course, I'm really happy about in the transfer portal for Michigan, but look, this might be his only shot to start for Iowa. And look, Joey Labas, just don't be afraid to take chances. Show what you're worth to Iowa and maybe show what you're worth to a college program. Just play your game, play lights out, because, again, this may be the only shot you've got to start, at least for Iowa. So just use this game. Show some great film. Prove that you can become a great college quarterback. Second offensive role key. Look out for Octavius Oxendine. Very big man on interior defensive lineman. 6'1", 280 pounds. Those are the types of guys that really know how to wreak havoc in the trenches. So, block him well. Double team him. Get one lineman. He wears number 8, so one's got to go on one half of the 8. Other's got to go on the other half of the 8. Double team the guy. And get him out. Don't let him make big plays. Now, here's my third offensive role key. This is something I really tried to look back and think of situations that went wrong in the game last year in Iowa versus Kentucky. And if you remember, all the way back on January 1st, Iowa was up 17-13 late in the fourth quarter. They got a 4th and short, but they decided to punt the ball instead of try to go for it, and which could have, at the very least, taken a lot more time off the clock for Kentucky when they got the ball back on offense. But that punt led to Kentucky getting the game-winning drive and multiple play calls. So when it's a 4th and short situation, be prepared. Have multiple play calls ready. So if that mistake gets made again, that's not going to be a good thing. So have some passing and running plays set up for the 4th and short situations. Another suggestion I'm going to do is try not doing the obvious here. So pass when it's 4th and inches, run when it's 4th and 5. Fool them when you're going for it on 4th down. Because one thing from last year is game control really came down to keeping the ball, and Iowa didn't keep that ball in the end. So really, in the end, nothing that could be done. Because Iowa decided to punt the ball away. Don't do that again this year. Go for it on 4th and short. Now, here's my 4th offensive role key of the day. Be prepared in the pass protection. The SEC, they produce a lot of high-quality pass rushers. It's a conference known for pass rushing. So, pass blocking, all those sets have to be quick. Get off the line quick. Do so quick. Because any of the edge rushers may give some good pressure. J.J. Weaver and Trevon Rebecca, or however you say his name, pay some close attention to those guys, as they're really dynamic up there. But get the multiple blocking schemes set up, because pass protection is going to be key to win this game. You don't know what Kentucky's going to do. Twist, spin, bull rush, maybe something totally different. But be ready to handle the pressure from the defensive front, especially the edge rushing guys. Now, it's my 5th offensive role key. This is a guy who I have not brought up too much this year, but he deserves a bit of a shout out because he just came back for his 6th. Well, he just announced he's coming back for his 6th year next year. Nico Raganini. Just let him have a big day. He's been so experienced with this program. Let him play his game. Let him celebrate this new year by ending this year right. So let him get a touchdown. Give him some momentum because he's coming back for a year 6. Not many guys can do that. He's got to have the momentum for such a rare occasion. So keep it going with him. Let him have one of his best games. Finally, the defensive side. So now before I get into this, I do just want to say that I completely 100% understand that it is a personal choice for players to opt out of these bowl games, and it's also a personal choice for them to play in these bowl games. So it's never the right or wrong decision to opt out or to not opt out. And I get why a lot of these guys opt out. So of these rather, well, I'd say non-college football playoff bowl games, because they want to protect their dreams of going pro or shining at another school. I totally get that. So please, I'm not blaming the kid for his decision to opt out here to get into the NFL. But look, Chris Rodriguez, he had a great game against us in the bowl game last year. He's their best running back, arguably their best player on the team. But because Rodriguez isn't playing, look what I see. Quite a great chance to stop Kentucky's running game. Now, I'm not saying you got to go stack the box every play, but play great Iowa football against the run, and good things are going to happen if you do, because, again, it's not their best running back playing. So make Kentucky feel the absence of their running back here, Chris Rodriguez. It's all up to Iowa to make that absence felt. If they do so, and I see momentum coming to their side on defense for the Hawkeyes. Here's my second offensive role key. So be prepared to face a quarterback you know. So I remember back in the offseason earlier this year, Deuce Hogan, quarterback for the Hawkeyes, entered the transfer portal, found a new home for the Kentucky Wildcats. So now look, I'll get a little more on that in a bit, but he may not play much, let alone start. Here's something Iowa can do to get an advantage. So I don't know how Iowa's film software, or really any football film software, has it nowadays, but when I played high school football, my film software my team used, we had practice tapes going back about 4 to 5 years. If Iowa's got some going for that long, then watch some practice tapes of Deuce. Study his movements, study his tendencies, study his progressions, and if you find any, take note of that, because it'll help you even more to play him if he gets into the game. Now, my third defensive role key. Stay and run the course. So their superstar quarterback, arguably he's their best player, Will Levis. He's also opted out to prepare for the NFL. Again, I don't blame him, but I have been hearing and reading that Kentucky is planning to play multiple quarterbacks. Well, just don't make any drastic changes to the defense when they swap the quarterbacks, because Iowa's shown all year long defense is a problem for any quarterback out there. They can play to anybody's game. Just stay the course. Now, my fourth defensive role key is pass rush and pass rush. So, constant changes in personnel. I'm going to say just utilize multiple pass rushing schemes to just really confuse Kentucky and play with their minds. Make those guys guess what's coming, especially whoever is playing quarterback and the offensive lineman. So, having multiple pass rushing play types and then multiple formations for the pass rush, that can really be a huge factor this game when they may be subbing in quite a lot of guys. So, because keep them guessing and guessing. If they're not taking every rep, if they're subbing quite a bit of reps, then make no one rep alike. If something that one guy sees, don't make it be the same for the next guy. And if that guy goes back in, don't run the exact same thing that was run when that guy was in before. Jack Campbell, I mean, that guy is All-American, Swiss Army knife. Line him up in multiple spots and multiple schemes. He's a dynamic playmaker. So if they're really shuffling around a lot of positions and a lot of formations, then line up Campbell at different spots. So again, they are kept guessing, especially when they're not playing every single down or they're coming in for the first time in a while for the game. So keep that in mind. Now, here's my fifth and final defensive role key. Play some of the best music in Nashville. I don't know if you've ever been to Nashville. I've been there twice, and I'm going to say Nashville is just full of so much great music. There's a world-class live music scene at so many bars, even outside of some stores. There's just a lot of musicians just playing, and that really uproots and keeps the spirit of the town going. And even the amateur musicians there, they do such a great job on those streets. It's a lot of rock and roll, country, blues, whatever genre they're singing. They do it so well, and that's what makes Nashville so fun. And for me, I'd even say the music scene in Nashville, that's as great as the Iowa defense. So, guess what? Iowa's defense can play some of the best music in Nashville this weekend. Just do what they've done all year. Use the tenacious tone and the fast play. Force the turnovers, force the scoring on defense, and if they're playing the high level, but one of the best defenses in the country type of football again, and Iowa's defense, they may just be playing some of the best music in Nashville this weekend. They've got to want to do it, though. And I believe they absolutely can do it. Now, the X Factor role key. Now, this is a phrase that I somewhat agree with, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. How you start is important, but in this concept, well, Iowa started the year on January 1st with a loss against Kentucky in a bowl game. But on the last day of the year, Iowa is again going to play none other than, guess who? Kentucky in a bowl game. So, don't finish the year with how the year started. Get a win against Kentucky. And take it to them, because that was a really tough game to lose on January 1st. Take it to those guys. Win that game. Just go and win. Oh, crap. Hang on one second. Got frozen there, so at least I didn't reveal Rolldaddy's big roll of the week. So, again, if you've been watching my videos all year, This is something I end every video with. Rolldaddy's big roll of the week. This is a surprise tactic, trick play, or an interesting strategy that I would utilize this week if I was an Iowa coach that could catch the opponent off guard and give an advantage to the Hawkeyes. And remember, I have to come up with a new one every single week. I cannot use the same big roll of the week twice in a season. It's got to be something new every week. It's a really interesting one, but here you go. Don't punt! Yes, Tory Taylor, he is awesome, but why not try the concept this weekend? I mean, I'm not saying Iowa should do this every single game. No way, but this game doesn't have any significant implications, so just go the whole game without punting. Let the defense play ball. I just want to see if that works because Iowa's defense has just been so world-class. They have made a lot of stops in deep in opponent's territory. And I read about a high school coach that he just never punts the ball. He is so against it. So why not try to see if this would just work? And that's something I've always been curious of. If Iowa just decided not to punt and they decide to play defense, if they got their opponent into some really good field position, if they fail to convert on a fourth down, how would the defense fare? This is just the best game to do that because, again, this game's got no significant implications. Just try it this week, though I really don't think they will. And fortunately, if that holds up, then none of my big rolls of the week were actually utilized in any games this year. But just try it. Just try it. I want to see how Iowa's defense would do if they got bad field position on a lot of possessions. Now, this is what I accidentally revealed, but that's me. Iowa versus Penn State, October 9th, 2021. One of the greatest days of my life. This shows a lot of joy, and it's just the best picture to say thank you with. Because there's a lot of joy being a Hawkeye. It is such a great school to be involved with. And I'm so glad I'm an alumni of this amazing school. And again, this was a really unique project that I thought of to do myself back in August. And I have had to really put my brain to work. I've had to do extra time to scout the opponents, scout player tendencies, and even schemes, or how players have developed, or what class they're in, if that would really make a big impact. And all the research I've done, everything I put into it, it's been worth the while. Looking forward to this again next year. Thank you so much. And in the meantime, keep an eye out for some more videos, as there still may be some occasional sports videos every once in a while. While I wait on the next 9 months for the next Iowa football season. So thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure doing this for all of you this year. I hope you have a great night, and I wish you well in life if you've been watching all these videos. But even if not, I still wish you well in life. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for all of your great support.